Good morning, everybody. I'm back from my trip. I'm exhausted. I probably look exhausted. So I went to Colorado. I've been going out to Colorado every 2 or 3 months, and we've been also having a lot of travel, some of it for medical reasons, others for just family. So I wanted to give some things I've learned. I'm going to be specific to this trip that are somewhat financial, but somewhat convenience, and that is number one, if you can fly Southwest, especially if you're going to a main airport, they have a one way, I say one way, like no stop flight generally every day. So see if you can get that. It is usually cheaper. I had to do the red eye, so really, really early in the morning, really, really late at night, but it wasn't that bad. The late at night was worse, definitely, than the early morning for me, and I am not a morning person, but my whole flight was $200. So on Southwest, when you do Google flights, I didn't know this years ago, Southwest will not be listed there. You have to go to their website. And the thing I learned very early is that Southwest looks sometimes more expensive, but they do not your bags are free. Your first bag is free. I think you get up to two. I've been doing a carry-on just because of not waiting in long lines. My luggage has been damaged several times, so I got a plastic type carry-on. I talked previously about being mindful of, especially if you're traveling to international airports like I do, like Denver, Atlanta, to make sure that you do bed bug prevention. So I use a plastic type suitcase. I do not use cloth anymore. And I carry a spray bottle of alcohol to spray it down. I take my shoes off before I come in. I put my clothes in the wash as soon as I come in. And I started carrying two of everything. So I'll cover that and then I'll go back to flying. I pack a bag and a travel bag, and I have two of everything. So I don't have to bring my bag right in. When I get home, I can just come in, take a shower. I have everything here. So I have two pairs of glasses. I have two contact cases, two toothbrushes, etc. Now so on Southwest, I will do the upgrade to be on the A or B boarding so I can get a decent seat and not have to feel crowded. It's worth it to me to spend the extra $20 each way to get that upgraded seating. The other thing is when you pack a bag on Southwest, especially if you live in a rural area, you may be on a smaller flight. So make sure that your travel bag is the right size and that you can zip it all the way closed. I wanted to pack my coat coming back from Denver, but it meant I had to do the extension where you unzip and the suitcase comes up a few inches, and it would not fit in the smaller plane. And I'm talking a plane with 6 seats total across, and it would not fit. So it wasn't a problem on the first flight when I was flying from Little Rock to Denver, but from Denver to Little Rock, it was a problem. So be mindful of that. I also carry a bigger bag. Like I'll take a backpack that my purse will fit in. I'll switch to a smaller purse, or I will take a bag that actually found one at Target that is like a bag purse. It's kind of like a sack purse. And I carried that because I could fit I could fit my sweater in it. I could fit my book, all the things. So you get one big bag and one carry-on with Southwest, and it's definitely worth it. The ease of Southwest is just, if you live in that area, I highly recommend it, especially over places like Frontier, where they charge you for everything and it ends up being more expensive at the end of the day. The other thing someone told me to do was to do the National Emerald Club membership, where you ride your little shuttle to if you're in an airport where you have to shuttle international, you ride your little shuttle to the car rental place and you can check in on your app. And that is another thing I do is I use my app for Southwest boarding pass. I use my app for my check-in. You pull up, there's someone there to greet you, you get your car, you get in and you leave. You do not have to go through the long lines to check your car out, where sometimes they often try to upsell you on extra features. I've seen them do scare tactics with the insurance, and I always book with my Chase Sapphire Reward because it has extra points. I don't get anything for telling you that. It has extra protection for insurance. Even though you have full coverage insurance, it'll help cover your deductible, and you may not have to file a claim on your insurance if there's any kind of minor fender bender. So I do that. I did the TSA pre-check, which I told y'all about. That saves a lot of time. You don't have to take your shoes off. The lines are shorter. It's just much quicker to go through TSA pre-check. If you fly more than a couple of times a year, it's totally worth it. If you have questions, you can ask me below. The other thing I do is I always travel. I do this anyway in life. I carry like $100 worth of cash with me, and generally some ones, fives, and tens for tipping. A lot of times when you're at the airport, if you're going to be on a shuttle, they'll help you with your bags, and it's customary to tip. Depending on if they help me or not, it's anywhere. The guy yesterday didn't really help me at all. He did kind of manage the flow of traffic. I gave him $2, which is the lowest tip I ever give anyone. If they're really helpful, I'll give them $10. But always keep some smaller bills for tips. And then sometimes when you travel, you have to be mindful of where you can save and where you're going to spend. This trip for me, I'm not exactly sure. By the time I paid the car rental, my car rental and my flight were around $940, I believe. Now that's a lot for 4 days, but I stayed with family, so I didn't have that. Now I did buy them one meal out a day and a couple of snacks, and that ran me about $400, but I didn't have to stay in a hotel. So the whole trip together cost me about $1,400. It was worth it. I rented a minivan, a really nice minivan with all the bells and whistles, because I was taking my grandkids to soccer practice, my granddaughter to the doctor. We just did a bunch of family things, went to Costco. I just go out there and I live life with them, with whatever they're doing. We went to see my daughter-in-law's mother. And so it was so nice because we were able to all be in the car together when normally we can't, because they have a SUV and we don't all fit. So it was worth it to spend on that. We did eat some meals at home, and I did buy some groceries, so that was probably another 150. I would say I probably spent 1,500 all in on that. Now you could do it much cheaper, but when my husband and I travel together, one thing we do is we will get a hotel or a Airbnb, and we'll cook most of our meals in and eat one meal out a day. And then most of our entertainment is like walking in parks, going to parks, visiting national monuments, things like that. So we might spend more money on the lodging, but we'll spend less on the food. When I stay with my kids, I spend more on feeding them. And if I didn't have the money, they would work with me and we would probably just eat in a lot more, and I would cook a lot more. But we're running and going, and it just doesn't make sense. So I'm still going to be on the Eat at Home challenge now that I'm back home. I'm going to try to eat at home. I have a conscious spending plan for the rest of the month. I'm not going to call it a low spend or a no spend, but because we had to pay our quarterly taxes and they were rather large, and we're having the house painted, and we have a lot of medical issues going on that we're paying for, which I addressed in my last video. We spent more than we brought in with our paychecks last month, so we had to get into savings. Well, actually, I had saved in our checking account. So sometimes what I do is when our bills are lower, I let the checking account build up for months where we have big expenses. So I didn't really have to pull from savings, but in my brain, that buffer was there. So going into November, we don't have any really major things scheduled, but Thanksgiving, no travel. I do have dental work, and I need to get some, I'm getting some medicine, and I called the dentist today. I'm gonna have to pay $450 going down. So I'm gonna tell you what my bills look like. So our income is $53.74 a month. That does not include our pension. And the reason I don't include that pension is our pension is the exact cost of our health care. So our pension is $1,047 and our health care is $1,045. So I just consider that a wash, okay, for our premium. Our income is our paychecks from roofing, and that's $53.74. So every month we have to pay our electric. This is what it looks like for someone who's debt-free, okay? So we're debt-free, but we still have bills to pay. Our electric bill is $122. We have the health club where my husband goes is $26 a month. Netflix is $17 a month. We have Wi-Fi is $120. My husband's life insurance is $113. We contribute to an account for my son who's disabled, which is $100. I get my hair cut every month for $45. The water bill is $70. And I pay a life insurance policy. My mom took out a life insurance policy, and I pay it because I'm the beneficiary to help her. It's $26 a month. That's $639 a month. That does not, again, include our healthcare premium, okay? Remember, that's a wash. State Farm, we have to pay our auto and home insurance every month. And that's just not on our business vehicles. That's our personal vehicles and my son's vehicle. That's $296 a month. My son's YMCA membership, or Y membership, is $18 a month. And I have $1 for Apple for storage. So that comes to $315 a month. And that totals out to $954 of like regular reoccurring expenses every month. Now, that does not include our home property or real estate taxes. That's just home insurance, car insurance, and health insurances and all of that. Then we have, this is what I have planned to spend for the month. And I think I'm going to get cash out for some of these. Some of these are not needs, they're wants. And I am going to spend, I put a $200 budget for Thanksgiving Day for food, plates, all the groceries for Thanksgiving Day and what we would need. Food and toiletries for the month, I'm budgeting $500. The way I figure that is $2 per meal, $6 a day per person for food. 6 times 30 is 180 times 2 is $360 for actual food, plus another $140 for toiletries and cleaning supplies. We need to buy a couple of rocking chairs and a new rug. I will look for them used, but I have a $500 budget for those. I'm going to try to sell the other ones on Marketplace. Then I put $200 for dates and entertainment. We probably don't ever spend that, but I have it there for going out to eat or going to the movies or whatever. And I'm probably going to pull cash for that. My teeth, I have to pay $451 when I go in to have my dental work done tomorrow. My medicine is $110 with the consultation. And I put $200 down for the dogs for food. I don't know that it will be that much, but I've kind of lost track of, because I buy the food, the toiletries, the dog stuff all together. I've kind of lost track of all of that. So I'm going to put that all in cash and try to keep up with it. I have these cash envelopes, let's see, that I got a long time ago. And they look like this. They say budget tracker. And so I'm going to put the money in these this month and just use cash for food, Thanksgiving, the rug and the chair, the date nights and the dogs, my medical, and the things that come out of the credit card will just come off the credit card. So in November, I'm just having what I call a conscious spending plan with our income and pension and bills. The goal is to let the expenses, not including the health insurance and pension, be $3,374 this month. And everything I gave you comes up to $3,115. Figure there might be some miscellaneous stuff I might forget, which would be $250 roughly. And to save $2,000 this month. Now, what I did not include in there, which I might put some money in an envelope, is Christmas. I didn't include Christmas because this year I'm probably going to do Christmas a little bit different. I may, in fact, wait till after Thanksgiving unless someone tells me what they want. I'm going to make my Christmas list and I may do it more all together. I don't remember which one of you on here, I want to say it might have been Sage, but I need to look, said that they're going to take like 10 days off before Christmas. And I apologize if I got that wrong, but it meant a lot to me and I thought it was a great idea. They're going to take 10 days off before Christmas to do all the decorating, the cooking, the planning. I may try something that inspired me, not the 10 days before, but literally just using the Thanksgiving to Christmas holiday this year, because this year our life is slowing down. We're really busy right now, but life will slow down. I feel like we've been bleeding money and I just need to rein it in. So I'm probably going to ask my family what they want. I'm going to be making that list. One other of you said that you make a list all year. I love that idea. I asked the kids when I was in Colorado what they wanted. And then I'm just going to try to go out and get it, over a couple of days or a week, and then wrap it as I go. I'll make a wrapping station in the guest room and start thinking about what I need for the holiday. So Anyway, that's where we are, conscious spending and some frugal travel trip tips for you. I hope that helps. Sometimes things aren't always frugal. I just think of myself more as a conscious spender. I would like for Gemini to be able to live on about, let's see, when we are fully retired, about 48,000, and have the rest where we can still save to have for big expenses when we retire. So I'd like to save about 2,000 a month there, or give or take, to put back. So that's what we're trying to do with our income. I know everyone's is variable. Everybody is different. Not everybody has the same amount of income, and for us, $72,000 where we live is a good, comfortable income. And that, by the way, 70,000 is the average median income in the United States. But where I live, that's a lot of money. But like when I was out in Colorado where my son lives, that's not a lot of money at all. It's very hard to live on 70,000 there. But where I live, people generally make anywhere from like 30 to 50,000 household income. So it's doable where I live. All right, I hope that's helpful and gives you a little bit of insight. Don't judge yourself by me, because 10 years ago, I was not in this spot. Things were a lot different, and I couldn't like budget for a rug and chairs. I was lucky to go to a garage sale and get them. But some of my best and favorite finds are things like that. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.